Hey guys, welcome back. I am Alicia Lyons and I am unpacking my mom guilt toolbox. And today I'm continuing the conversation around generosity. So last time I talked about being generous with your self-care. When you're the alpha female in the home, you have to take care of yourself first so that you are giving, you're giving from the overflow and not giving. We operate a lot of the times as women, we like to have, we have a glass half full. And so we give and give and give and give until there's nothing left. And then we're giving emptiness. And so when you take care of yourself, you are giving from the overflow. And I know it's not easy, but it's just something, it's just something we're not in practice of. So I encourage you to watch that video to talk, hear more about it. But today I'm talking about being generous with your love. So one of the things that actually one of the first blog posts that I ever wrote was about asking your child their love language. So if you're not familiar with the love languages, there's 5 love languages. And I believe the author is Gary Chapman. And the 5 love languages, if I can remember, are quality time, words of affirmation, physical touch, gift giving, and words of like positive words, words of assurance. And so one day I had this idea. To be honest, I don't know if it was which came first, the chicken or the egg. But I had this realization that that my dad and I didn't speak the same love language when I was growing up. And what I made that mean was that my dad didn't love me. And I carried that burden around for a really long time. I think I was well into my 30s before I let that idea go. And I started seeing that my dad really does love me. And that's a really hard thing to go through life feeling like your parents don't love you. And so I had this idea to ask my son Xander what his love language is, and he was 6 or 7 at the time, and so I used words that I thought that he would understand. So I said, "What does mom do that makes you feel the most loved?" And his answer actually surprised me. He said that he felt the most loved when I snuggle with him. And to be totally honest, that was the thing that I was doing the least. I was waiting on him hand and foot, and I was telling him that I love him, and I was praising him. But the things that he felt the most loved by was when I would snuggle him. And so I started working that into my daily routine. So I would get up earlier than my family, so that I would have that time to myself. So I started off getting up at 6. I now get up at 5. And I'm not saying that this is what you should do specifically, but this is what I did. And then when he would wake up, I was already awake. I'd already woken up, like, physically, and I was awake mentally too, because I noticed this morning when I wake up, I don't have a very happy look on my face. Like, I am still trying to just adjust to the idea of being awake at 5 o'clock in the morning. And today Xander actually woke up at 5 with me. So I think I ended up going back to sleep because that's what I needed. But we snuggled before I fell back asleep. And then he entertained himself because he wasn't tired anymore. But we had our snuggle time, and that was the first thing he asked for was, "Hey, can I snuggle with you?" So, um, I always think like, what would have happened if I hadn't asked that question? Would he have felt the same way that I felt that my dad didn't love me? Um, and by the way, that's like the farthest thing from the truth. I'm sure if anybody was to ask my dad, like, how do you feel about your daughter Alicia? I'm sure that he would have nothing but loving things to say. He wasn't communicating that in my love language at the time, and that's okay. He didn't know what he didn't know. If he had known, he would have done something differently. And so I encourage you, mom, to ask your kids, what do you do that makes them feel the most loved? And then do it, whatever it is. If right now I'm trying to encourage Xander to, get his own drink when he needs it so that I'm not waiting on him hand and foot. But if he told me that that was his love language, and I think that there's a little bit of that in there, and there's a little bit of like feeling lazy when he's doing that. So, but give it a try and let me know what you think. Have a great one.